Welcome everyone to the game of Divya Deshmukh in the final round of the Prague Challengers 2026. The round starts a little early on the last day and Divya is here. She is at 50% score. She's facing Stepan Hrbek, rated 2463, and IM from Czech Republic. And Stepan had an amazing start to this tournament. In the first two rounds itself, he managed to beat Daniel Yufa and Zhu Jinner. Since then, he has had 3 draws and 3 losses, and he'll be looking to finish strong with a win over Divya Deshmukh. On the other hand, Divya has been rock solid in this tournament with 1 win against Surya Ganguly, 1 loss against Zhu Jinner, and 6 draws. And she, if manages to win this game, will have an incredible performance right before the FIDE candidates that she will be playing later this month. Divya is also currently world number 10, so she is very close. She's world number 11, so she's very close to breaking in to the top 10 in the world. Okay, let the games begin now. Stepan, what is his first move going to be? He brings his knight out to f3. And did Divya come prepared for it in this game? Let's see. She plays pawn to g6, and whenever Divya plays such openings like g6 and stuff, it's an invitation to her opponents to fight, because she wants to play for the full point. She doesn't want to play theory, and that's what has motivated her to play this, and that shows ambition from Divya. And Stepan is now in his thinking mode and plays pawn to e4. So he's converted this into a modern opening by playing like e4, g6, knight f3. The bishop comes out to g7, and you go pawn to d4, capturing the center. We have pawn to d6 by Divya, and this opens up the bishop's path. Knight comes out to c3, controlling the center here, and knight to f6 makes a lot of sense. So we have the pure Pirk's defense. Bishop e3 played by Stepan. It could be an aggressive idea with queen d2 long castle, but it could also be a positional idea with h3, bishop e2 and castles. Let's see what he goes for. He plays, by the way, Divya goes a6 with the idea of b5, queen d2 on the board. Wow. Okay, interesting stuff. Now you can go b5 to gain space, and b5 also creates the square on b7 for the bishop, also threatening b4 and knight takes pawn. Let's see what Stepan does here. He plays bishop h6. Oh, he's well prepared even for this. Maybe bishop d3 was an idea, but bishop h6 is so sharp. And the point here is that if Divya takes and plays b4 to win this pawn, then knight d5 and knight e4 is met with bishop d3, castles, rook e1, and you're already busted here. So Divya plays castles. Stepan takes on g7, the best move. King takes g7. Now he can go bishop d3. Yes, defending the pawn. And Divya can go bishop b7, attacking the e4 pawn. She goes e5. Ooh, risky chess by Divya, because take, it's a free pawn. Well, you often give up such a pawn because your king is still in the center. So rook e8 would give back material for you. But takes. And now knight takes on e5 is the best move. But will Stepan be confident enough to snatch the pawn? Well, he is. Knight e5. He's asking Divya to prove the compensation, because rook e8 f4. Show me what you've got here. Divya says, I don't want to capture the pawn back. I'm going bishop b7. I'm putting pressure here. Threatening b4 maybe. By the way, long castle is a strong move here, but she goes queen e3. She plays her queen to e3, defending the pawn on e4. But now rook e8, attacking the knight on e5. Yes, rook e8 on the board. Good move by Divya. The game, I mean, if you move the knight away, it's already catastrophic, because b4, knight e4, black is better. So the only move is f4. That's what Stepan does. Pushes his pawn to f4. Divya's time on the clock down to 26 minutes. She's very little time now. And we are only on move 13. So things not looking good for Divya here. Knight d7 maybe, to trade off the knights and to open up the attack on the e4 pawn. She goes b4. The knight on c3 needs to move. Okay, maybe just knight e2. Makes sense. Knight e2, knight g3. It goes knight to a4. Okay. Knight to a4 played. And now knight c6. Yes, like the move. Divya is playing in a gambit style. She's given up a pawn and she's telling her opponent that I think I'm doing well here. Let's see what Hrbek does. He goes knight to c5. He attacks the bishop here. And by the way, if you could, you have to take on e5. Knight e5. I mean, saving the bishop makes no sense. Takes, like, imagine if you played a move like queen c8. That would be just too passive. I can just castle and I'm better. So knight e5, fe. And now knight g4 is what Divya should go for. Attacking the queen, yes. And so there's no time to pick up the bishop because you are attacking the queen as well. Oh, also, now queen g3, defending the e5 pawn, attacking the knight. And by the way, bishop c8 looks like the natural move now, and black is in with chances there. But knight e5 played. A mistake by Divya. But I guess she has calculated something. Knight takes b7 is a very powerful move by Stepan. He has 33 minutes. Divya has 6 minutes. Of course, Divya doesn't want to end this tournament on a loss. That would just not be great for her performance here, where she's done so well. And you can see Stepan is thinking. I guess Divya didn't like that queen g3, bishop c8, there was e6. But maybe there is something else like queen d4 there. But knight e5, knight b7 taken. What is Divya going to do now? She first takes on d3 with a check. So, I mean, logically, queen takes is a bad move because of queen h4 check. Then the e4 is hanging and so on. So, pawn takes. And now the only move to recover the piece is queen d5. Very nice move. Taking advantage of the pin, but Stepan finds the best move. Queen takes b7, but now just rook takes c7. 7 minutes and 20 more moves to make. Attacking the queen. And you can see already queen b6 stops castling. He would have loved to castle and bring the rook here. But now just rook f1. White is a pawn up. White has attacking chances. And everything is working in white's favor. Rook f8. Queen comes into the center. Queen e5. The only thing for maybe for white, the worrying part is the king on e1. It's a bit weak. King g8 goes back, and now queen to c5 should do the trick. It's just great. Bring the queen to c5. Goes king d2. He wants to keep the queens on the board. By the way, rook e8, and that should be met with queen c5. Plays rook a7. Maybe for Stepan now. Rook takes a7, queen takes a7, and h4 with the idea of h5, h6 could also be very strong. Goes rook c5. He goes rook c5, trying to block the queen, but now Divya can get rook d7. I like that she's rested over the control on the 7th rank now. Her king is not so weak. I mean, you could play potentially f6 here, but then there's queen d5, queen d5 check. and rook c6, and white is doing well. So rook d7 first is the best move. Plays it, and now a very, very important threat is f6, because then the queen could no longer protect this. So play rook f6 or something. Oh, blunders h4, and look at Divya, stunned, shocked. She can't believe it. She's like, what? h4? And look at her expressions carefully there. Stepan knows he's blundered, perhaps. He takes a sip of water. Divya also takes a sip of water. It's like, come on. f6, what are you going to do with f6? Where does your queen go that it protects the rook? Is there even a square for you, Stepan? What have you just done? I think Divya is just convincing herself that there is nothing that her opponent can do. Rook f6 is met with rook f6. The pawn is controlled. And now she plays f6. And Stepan has just no move at his disposal. From a totally winning position, he's landed in a lost position in a matter of like couple of moves. That's just insane. That's how brutal chess is. He resigns. Divya Deshmukh says sorry to her opponent, and she moves to 5 points in this tournament. 5 out of 9. A fantastic score, gaining 13 ELO points, moving to 2510 or 2509 and reaching top 10 in the world. An amazing performance, and Stepan was like, I was better. Divya, well, she can't argue with that, and she agreed. And a great tournament before the candidates for Divya, not just boosting her rating but playing against strong opponents and holding her own, showing that she has stabilized herself as a player. Heartbreak for Stepan, but I'm sure he'll come back stronger. Kudos to Divya for a fine performance in Prague.